በእንግሊዘኛ ነው የማወራው። የክቡር እዚህ ጋር so I want to welcome everyone for the groundbreaking ceremony for the Marsha Burnham Surgery Center, um, which is now exactly 1 week to the 45 years when I was born, whatever that tidbit is. Anyway, so as you can see, the place has been demolished, and we're just about to begin construction, hopefully within the month or so. So it's perfect timing to have Marsha Burnham here for the commencement of this project, even though it's actually a project in continuity. About 6 years ago, I decided that I was going to stay here and actually build a hospital, a surgical hospital. And as I waded through the bureaucratic process of trying to get land, my initial ideas that were more American-based eventually fizzled and have now morphed into a much more appropriate design and intentions overall. So as a local saying goes, everything is for the better. Because it gave me enough time to know exactly what I want to do, how I want to do it, and how that would actually meet the needs of where I am at. Whereas before it was just theoretical and not practical. It takes experience to know what to do. So I've now decided for this to be a surgical specialty center. Of course, doing plastic and reconstructive surgery, and hopefully I'll be able to lure a few other specialty surgeons to be able to provide expert care for a population greatly at need. And if I'm even more successful, hopefully I'll be able to lure somebody from the States to come back and resume practice here. So that's the genesis of this project. The more important part is what it represents. In 1983, right? I went to Los Angeles. I had no idea what to expect, except I had images of the last flick I saw, which was Saturday Night Fever. Saturday Night Fever, yes, by John Travolta. So that's what I expected when I came to the U.S. And, you know, I expected sparkling lights and dancing and all that stuff. And when I arrived in the airport, there was none of that. But I got a much better deal instead when I saw Marsha. And any worries that I had that my migration might have any problems instantly fizzled. So both Marsha and Bruce took me to their home, which, you know, in any time, in any period, for any family to take any person in need at any time is a big thing. But even bigger is sorry. Even bigger is the fact that somebody can, you know, without any prior relationship, without any, you know, genetic predisposition, to provide any individual with so much love and support. I don't cry in movies, that's why it's kind of bottled up. For now what, 30 years? 30 years. Never unwavering, never judgmental, never negative, not even a slight, you know, remark that I can attribute to anything other than pure love. So the genesis of this project, the principles by which it's going to move ahead, is all 100% attributed to Marsha. I don't think, well, I don't think I know, there's nobody else in my life who had been as important, as useful, as nurturing, nourishing as Marcia has been, especially considering, moving to the United States is not an easy thing, despite what most people haven't think. And to be bombarded with the shock of a social rearrangement, so to speak, it has proven true that indeed, an ounce of love can overpower or is much greater than a pound of hatred or anything else. This is, in idea and in principle, generated by the spirit of my relationship with Marcia. And I'm glad it took me 6 years to be able to get to this point, because I know I can make it as successful as she had made our relationship, and been able to make me successful in the things that I do as well. I can only hope that I can provide, either in parcel or in part or in total, the same amount of impact, positive impact, to any other in this world. And I believe, above everything else, of everything else that anybody else does, we are a social species. The only thing we leave in between one another is the emotional impact of how we relate to one another. Nothing else matters. I don't care, it matters whether you build a pyramid or whether this is the greatest hospital that ever existed. All that is irrelevant. The most important aspect is to be able to give some light to some other human being. That is the spirit in which I want to build this hospital. That's the reason why when I was told, you should give bribes to get the land earlier and all that crap, I didn't, because I don't want anything to sully that spirit. I don't want anything to contaminate that spirit. I will try my best to keep this project going on the same basis. And I also don't believe in thanking somebody after they're gone or after behind their back or anything of that nature. To those to which we feel gratitude, we have to provide, we have to show that gratitude in front. I can't imagine what else I could ever name this hospital. And I also want to thank you for making the great journey over here when many others wouldn't dare so far. And hopefully others will follow in your lead. And again, welcome, as you have welcomed me. And that's all.
Can you hear me from here? Of course, I can stand. I can stand. In the back? All right, I'm going to turn around. Thank you. I really am overwhelmed, but I have to start at the beginning. In 1961, Miss Alec came to Los Angeles, to the university, to UCLA, and my mother met him and fell in love with him. He became, in the 4.5 years he was in Los Angeles, a son, her only son. She stayed in touch and was happy when he married Fonte and when Teddy and Mickey were born. Oh no, came much later. Teddy came later, but unfortunately we lost her early. I stayed in touch with Micela Infante. And when Teddy was 14, we had corresponded, and we thought that it would be a wonderful idea if Teddy did what my son Bruce had done. Bruce went to England to study, and I thought if maybe Teddy came to study in the United States would be a good idea. He came, thank God. And when I saw him walk from the plane with his head high and his incredible carriage, and I thought, oh, this is going to be great. And it was great. Teddy was the making of me. But his elegance and his strength, and yes, I adored him, and yes, he knew that my husband would always stand behind him or in front of him if necessary and would not back down. He was not able to get a loving relationship because my husband didn't have it in him. But we had a wonderful relationship. My children took him as a brother immediately. I took him, the first day he was there at the house, I have a swimming pool, and he understood the theory of swimming, but he wanted to put the theory into practice. He went into the pool, to the bottom. I went in after him, fully clothed, and pulled him out. And I said, he's got to have swimming lessons. We went to UCLA, and the teacher, after the first lesson, came up to me and said, I assume you know you have a very bright boy here. I said, yes. He said, do you know anything about athletics? And I said, no. And he said, if Teddy would like to come to UCLA, I hereby offer him a spot on my national championship team. This was the assistant coach. He said, you make sure he's on a team every semester. He will be so exhausted from his practices and his studies, he won't have the energy to realize how miserable he's going to be. It was good advice. I took him to a couple of schools, and I said, no, these will not do for Teddy. And fortunately, we went to the Brentwood School, and the admissions officer made a place he didn't have for Teddy. He told him that he would have to be back 1 year, and Teddy was heartbroken. And I went to see him, went to the school a few days later, and I said, Teddy, his English isn't as good as he thinks it is. And I said, I think you should be a sophomore. And the admissions officer said, did you see his face when I told him he would be I was only interested as a junior? He said, I broke his heart. If I made him a sophomore, I'd break his spirit. We'll get him through, don't worry. They got him through. Teddy got himself through with a little help in the beginning. The first day of his senior year, the headmaster called me and said, Teddy's going to get a little award. You should be there. Teddy got the Harvard Award, which is the biggest prize for the best student in the entire school. And from there on, it was straight up. Teddy applied to the best colleges in the United States, and every single one accepted him, offered him wonderful scholarships. But Stanford, the great Stanford University, outbid everybody. And Teddy went without a loan. It was unbelievable. Nobody has ever heard of anyone going without a small loan. And I must say that Teddy worked hard, and he gave me a lot of credit. Yes, I opened doors, but Teddy walked through the doors. And he came to me fully formed. He was well raised and brilliant. And what he did on his own. I was the one who really got the great advantage, because his coming and my having to fight for him made me into a different person. And it gave me the strength to become a real human being. And finally, to leave my very abusive husband. I am now his American mom, his second mother, and I thank Fonte for sharing with me. I now have 4 children: Beth, Bruce, Teddy, and thank God, Yoli, and 7 grandchildren. I won't list them all, but the littlest one is Lillian. And that's the way I feel, and this is the greatest of all honors I've ever heard of. I can't thank Teddy enough.
እዚህ እያየን አንድ ሰው ከሳየ በኋላ ዘባሩ ይችላል። እሺ እንለፍ ቶሎ ቁም ይበቃል። ስብሰባ የለም።
Wonderful experience.
So, Minion can explain about the building.
ቆይ አንዴ ማይክ አንተ ከታርጋ አንዴ ቆይ አንዴ
Audio video ላይ
ታች ነው
This is the external view of the design. It has different rooms, operating rooms, wards, laboratory, X-ray, everything, dialysis room, and we have also a floor dedicated to training facilities. So all in all, it's going to be G plus ground plus 4 stories, so it's going to be 5 stories. I don't know. Thank you. I think it's going to be wonderful. Yeah.
It's a wonderful design. Very proud.
You're welcome.
Marsha, thank you for being here, and thank you for everything that you have been so far. Thank you so much. በቃ እንግዲህ አመሰግናለሁ። ባቢ ትናገራለች? እሺ ወደ
Evet, evet aç. Evet kapat. Ceren, Ceren.
በእኛ ትምህርት አሁን ለምሳሌ አሉ የመጀመሪያዎቹ አርቲስቶች ምናምን ነገር